the sound of my voice. This is your boy, Dr. Sbu Kumalo, to come and have a chat with you. And we have entitled the chat, The Uncovered, where we actually talk about ideas and conversations that matter. Listen, you can join us online through your comments. Share the screen to anyone whom you would love to be actually part of this engagement. But you already know, every time we get to start, it is all about this. It is all about the grind, it's all about the grit, and you know how it goes. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. It is possible. That's how we do it, right? That's how we start, because it is actually the idea of possibility that actually gives birth to courage. No one develops courage unless they know something can happen, something might happen. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for calling Abangani ukuthi so that we can have this meaningful conversation. So today, I want to talk to you about something very, very important. This concept really has been misunderstood for abantu abaningi. This concept has not been grappled the way it should, and hence is not working for most people the way it's supposed to, right? Just to give you an example, have you ever sought for something uyiphethe ngesandla? Now, I want my real people to talk to me now. Have you ever sought for something, for example, seeking for car keys, but all along you've had them esandleni sakho, right? Have you ever sought for glasses, but you had them in your face? Have you sought for something pet, but ungazi? And what do? What comes to your mind the time you realize all along you've been having this particular thing, but you get to have what I call an aha moment. A moment where you kind of feel stupid at the same time. You kind of have a certain revelation. You would know all that I've been looking for, sonke lesikhathi, has been within my possession. Could it be that most of the solutions that you are seeking for, most of the answers you are praying for, most of the breakthroughs you keep asking to receive, could it be that all of that has been within your possession? And what if I told you today, right there where you are, doesn't matter the situation might be in, listening to us, viewing this podcast. But what if I told you, you actually have the solution in your hands? Or rather, the solution is within you. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about the importance of your mindset. Right, mindset. Now, there's a difference between a brain and a mind, right? Just to school you a bit on that one so that we are all in the same page. A brain is a physical matter. A brain is made out of a physical matter. It's an organ of the body. But a mind is made out of a thought. So when we speak about a mindset, we speak about a pattern of thinking that leads one to a desired end or leads one to a destructive end. So that's why we never talk about a brain set, but we always talk about a mindset, because it is by a mindset where you are able to grapple with life, where you are able to stabilize your life, where you are able to reach out for things you want to achieve, where you are able to be at your best version in order for you to attain whatever it is that you want. So I want to talk to you about the importance of a mindset. What set of thoughts do you need to have in order for you to be successful? I've written and read a number of books, which actually suggests that everyone's existence happens between both their ears, meaning it happens within your mind. What kind of thoughts do you have that will take you to the next level? So allow me today to invade your space and speak about the importance of a mindset. Listen, there are 6 things I want to talk about. But before I speak about those 6 things, I want to lay out this conversation so that wherever you are, please feel free Go to the comment section and start commenting about whatever it is you want to achieve, whatever it is you believe or understand about this notion called a mindset. Now, as equal as we want to have a mindset, there is what we call a positive mindset and there is a negative mindset. What is a positive mindset and what is a negative mindset? A positive mindset is more about being intuitive. It's more about seeing the better side of the end. It's more about being optimistic about the outlook of life. But the negative part of a mindset is all about not seeing any possibility, not seeing anything that could work. I remember when I was writing my first book entitled The Power of Self-Government, I have an analogy where I speak about two boys who were twins and were raised by this gentleman. This gentleman who raised them happens to be their father, is an alcoholic. So both boys were raised by this gentleman known as an alcoholic. So when one pair of the twins grew up and said to himself and said to his friends, I am not going to be like my dad. I'm not going to be an alcoholic like he is. And now the relatives, the friends and people that knew the boy, who knew their father, asked, why are you not like your dad? Why are you different from him? And listen to the answer. He said, it's because I'm raised by an alcoholic. The second guy, who is also a twin, went to the family and said, Mina, ngizalwa ubaba, ngiyofana naye. I'm born by my dad. I'm from him. I'm going to be like him. I'll be an alcoholic like he is. And then people ask, why are you like your father? Listen to the response. He too said, it's because I'm raised by an alcoholic. So both twins grew up in a situation where was quite identical, no different, born by the same father who is an alcoholic. But at the end of the day, they changed their lives to different directions because of the same situation. However, the mindset they had was different from the other. The one said, I'm not going to be like my dad because I'm raised by an alcoholic. The other one said, I'll be like my dad because I'm raised by an alcoholic. You may have the same situation like anyone else, but you can turn out different because of the mindset that you have. So I want to talk about more a positive mindset than there is a negative mindset. Because if you're going to stick on the negativity of mindset, of mental capacity, of a process of thinking, a sequential of thought, you are brewing yourself to failure. You are preparing yourself to lose. You are preparing yourself to be part of people who are just going to be alive and existing but not living. Because when you have a negative mindset, it's more like crucifying something you wish to have. It's more like killing in your head what you want to give birth to in apparent life. It's more like suffocating something in your head which you want to give life. You are contradicting yourself. You really want to be successful. You really want to grow. You really want to be this person who wants to grow. You're probably listening to us. You are doing matric this year, grade 12, and you really want to ace it. But in your head, you have a different mindset as opposed to what you want. So I want to speak about the 6 important points of a positive mindset. Number 1, whatever is happening in your life, whether good or bad, is in perfect harmony with your thoughts. Think about it. Noma ngabe yini eyenzeka empilweni yakho is in perfect harmony with your thoughts. Meaning, if you want to change your life, do not focus on changing the outcome of your life, change the income of your life. What do I mean by that? Don't focus on changing the results of your life, change what gives birth to the results of your life. For example, if you want to be a successful person, you can't have yay high dreams, but have a yay low attitude towards life. All of those needs to match. Angeke ukwazi ukuthi ufuna uba umuntu ophumelele, but your attitude, your mental capacity, your thinking pattern towards life is opposing what you want. Ufuna ukusebenza ngabantu but awunabuntu. You need to engage a mindset positive for what you want. One of the challenges we have in the society is exactly this. We have people with big dreams, big aspirations, big ambitions, but when it comes to the mindset they have, it doesn't match, it doesn't meet that exactly they want to achieve. So make sure, whatever it is, listen, I'm giving you a plug in life. If you want to be successful, check your mindset. Because whatever good or bad happening currently in your life, it is in sync with your mentality. It is in sync with your thinking pattern. It is in sync with your mindset, because psychology teaches us that whatever you say to yourself, whatever you think to yourself continuously, that becomes your belief system. Meaning when you wake up tomorrow morning, even though the world can be in a jubilant state, but if you wake up with a negative mind that has been brewed for a long time, you're not going to believe what you have. That's why many people have this song whenever something good happens to them, and they'll be like, no, this is too good to be true. Because you've never gotten used to it. You've never allowed yourself to get used to you thinking positively in a negative state, in a negative environment. So the first point I want you to deal with as you're working on the issues of mindset is that your life, whatever happens in your life, whether bad or good, is in perfect harmony with your thoughts. So if you want your life to change the thoughts. That's why even the good book says, as a man think in his heart, so he is. And I said, as a man think in his heart, so he is, and as he continues to think, so he remains. So impilo yakho will forever be what it is, based on the mindset you build your life on. And now let me ask you, on what mindset have you been building your life? Now the simplest way to answer this question is this: look at your life. Uma ngabe impilo yakho is headed a right direction, it has something to do with your thinking pattern. But if your life is headed the wrong direction, a bad direction, spiraling down, no hope at all, look at your thoughts. Because if I wake up every morning and I pump myself with possibility, I know it is possible. I know I can make it. I know I can do it. I know it's within me. I know I got this. I know I can kill it. I know I can be the best version. I know everything depends on me in order for it to happen. If this is the mindset you have every single time, trust me. Because an old saying says, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, no mungena mali, you'll get your haircut. So if you stick on a positive mindset, no matter how long it takes, one of the good days it will happen. Because as a man or a woman think, so they are. And as they remain with that thinking capacity, so they continue in that spiraling type of life. So that's the first one. The second one I want you to understand is that your entire life revolves around the activity in your mind, not the activity in your brain. Remember the difference between brain and mind. A brain is a physical matter. A mind is a thoughtful process. So your life, your entire life is built along those. So let me ask yourself, as you look at yourself in the mirror whenever given the time, what do you say when you look at you? Uthini mawuzibuka wena? Do you see a progressive person? Do you see anything with great potential within you? It is very important to understand that you will not exist out of your mental capacity. You will not exist out of your mindset, your thought of process. When I wake up every morning given the chance, when I wake up, I go to a certain quote I wrote for myself. And that quote says, I represent thoughts many have rejected about themselves. Because why do I have that quote? I have that quote because where I grew up in such a misogynist society that if you don't believe you will make it, you will never gonna make it. If you don't have it within yourself to be progressive in life, you are never going to have a taste of what a progressive life looks like. So what do you say when you look at you? Because at the end of the day, your life strictly depends on the activity in your head. If you say you will do it, if you believe you will do it, if you believe you can, definitely you are going to make it happen. So now I just wanted to take a short break, a short commercial, and say these three things to yourself. I want you to say to yourself, I can. I want you to say to yourself, I will. I want you to say to yourself, I must. And I want you to say to yourself, it is possible. Because until you believe in these 4 stages of thinking process, that you can, that you will, that you must, and that it is possible for you to make it happen, chances are you will find it difficult, you'll find it far-fetched for you to be progressive. Most of the people that are successful today, trust me, it had to do with their mental state. It had to do with their mindset. It had everything to do with the activity going on their head, because psychology teaches us that a stretched mind never retracts to its original size. So that's why uma we out elokishini awuke uphume ngenkasi, hamba somewhere where you're going to stretch your mind. Uma ngusistere ekasi ufuna uphumelela, hamba, go see what people do outside. Go and stretch your mind. Go to a car dealer. Go to a real estate agent. Go and view some houses. Go and view places you only wish you can be but can't afford for now to be. Because what you're doing, you're stretching your mind. And that activity in your mind creates a platform of a belief system that lalela, it's possible. And listen, it is possible. You can make it. You can be the best version of yourself if you allow yourself to inculcate positive activities happening in your mind. Please write it somewhere down in the comment. I will, I can, I must, and it's possible. I will, I can, I must, and it's possible. I will, I can, I must, and it's possible. I will because it takes a willingness for you to make it happen. I will because it won't fall from heaven ukuziyenzeke. It won't come from the underground gang for ukuziyenzeke. It won't come from either side. If it is to be, it depends on your willpower, on your willingness to make it happen. I can is a commitment to yourself that if it's going to happen, I'm going to initiate. I'm going to initiate for it to happen. I must is a declaration that in order for my family to eat, I have got to hunt. I imagine a lion, a tiger, a jag, a tiger in a cage. Inhliziyo is not in the cage. Inhliziyo is in the wild, because he knows if he will not hunt, his family will never eat. So I must says it depends on you for you to make it. It's possible gives you hope. Which I might not have it now. I might not afford it now. It may not be within my reach. But one thing I can guarantee myself, it's possible. Oh boy, it is possible. Possibility gives you a mindset, a positive mindset in a scarcity environment. Possibility gives you a possible mindset in a negativity environment. So believe in that. So the first one is that whatever happens in your life, whether negative or positive, is in perfect harmony with your thoughts. The second one is that your entire life revolves around the activity that happened between your ear, not in your brain, but in your mind. So fix the mind and everything else will be possible. The third point is your success in any undertaking will never be greater than the image you've fixed in your head. Oh boy, this is something. Oh man, this is something. I have had encounter Nabantu who went for physical operation where they got to alterate maybe their nose or change their ears or bring up their cheekbones, but because in their mind they have a fixed image of themselves, no matter what you can give them as a fixture in their face, it never changes the outcome of their lives because they have a fixed image of them. What do you see when you look at you? Because at the end of the day, you are going to be you. Go to someone who is failing and who swear that they will never succeed. They have proof they will never succeed. I call it a bias belief system. Umuntu ongaphumeleli and believes in his heart ukuthi yena wazalelwa ukuhlupheka, une-proof angakubonisa ukuthi no man, I'm not going to succeed. Go to a salesperson. He has a book where he had written down all the possible failures to prove that they can never succeed. It's funny how just across the very same table is a person with the same predicament, with the same environment, same circumstance, but believes in a possibility that they'll make it happen because of the image they have. So that's why you need to stop seeing yourself as a scar and see yourself as a star. You need to stop seeing yourself as a wimp, see yourself as a winner. You need to stop seeing yourself as a victim, see yourself as a victorious person. You should stop seeing yourself at the bottom, but like Cremora, you must see yourself on top. You must stop seeing yourself in jail, who's not going anywhere, but see yourself like Zambak because you're the real Makoya. It is about time you see yourself like Lucky Star because ushanga phakathi. It is about time you see yourself like Woolworths because you're simply the difference. It is about time you see yourself not complicated, but like Standard Bank, simple, better for faster connections. It is about time you see yourself there where you hope to be, not only where you are. Because sometimes your residence can be your captivity in the absence of seeing possibility. Oh boy, I wish I'm talking to someone. Sometimes how you perceive yourself, la ukhona, can be a jail and incarceration in the absence of seeing any possibility. See a successful marriage, single unjalo. Hello? See the best, beautiful, driven car by yourself, ungenayo license okwamanje. Because what you see is very important than what you are at the current moment. So what do you see when you look at you? So what image have you fixed in your head? Or sometimes you don't even need to ask that particular question. Just look at the person, how they walk. You can tell this one believes in themselves because of the confidence. They don't have Louis Vuitton on their back, but the steps they're putting on the ground, the walk they have, the posture, the poise, the confidence in their steps, I promise you, it is in them. They believe in it. And you can also see someone who possibly has a label on their back, but how they walk, they don't have no confidence because of the image. What image have you gravitated to when it comes to your personal life, your personal progress? Point number 4, your mindset determines what you believe you are capable of achieving. Sometimes if you want to be successful, you need to ask yourself, do I approve myself for the improvement I want to inculcate in my life? Let me ask you this question. Before you get to improve yourself, have you first given yourself the permission to approve yourself? Because angeke uzuyifune until uyibone ukuthi yakufanela. No man, I need to be talking to you. Angeke uyifune into, ngeke umfune umuntu, ngeke uyifune indlu, ngeke uyifune imoto, ngeke uyifune imali, ngeke ufune anything pertaining success until uyigqokile in your head. Before I bought this, I wore it in my head. Young Fanela, I don't care what no one says. Before I drive this, so when I bought it already, it made sense to me because I first approved myself before improving myself. Because the danger of improving yourself in the absence of approving yourself Could be that you are improving yourself to better others in your absence, to better others at your own cost. Listen, I'm dishing to you the most important plug in life, and I'm saying to you, you can never have it with you until you've discovered it within you. Until you've discovered it within you. So whatever it is you want to achieve, your mindset is the one that determines. Before ifuna zibuze iyakufanela na. Because ingekakufaneli uzoyiqala namhlanje, you will start the process today. And when you fail, you will have good reasons enough to give up and not to continue with what you want, with who you want to become. But until once you'll find all the reasons in the world to make sure you gravitate to it, to make sure you get it, to make sure you receive it. That's why the first D of success is called a desire. You need to desire that. That's the mindset you must have. Point number 5, a guaranteed transformation of your life is only through the renewal of your mind. The good book says, do not be conformed to the pattern of the world, but be ye transformed. Don't be replaced. Don't be bought out. Don't be exchanged, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So renewal has nothing to do with exchanging. Renewal has something to do with going back and restructuring your mental process, your thinking process, your thinking pattern. Until you change your thoughts, your life will never change. I imagine someone who says, my car is not performing, and I bought it 5 years ago, but now it's no longer performing. It's been in and out of service, but it has gone down. The performance is bad. I think I need to change the color of the paint. Maybe if I change the color of the paint, it will perform better. The things might change. Change the color all you want. It's never going to happen. Change the interior all you want. It's never going to happen. Pimp the car all you want, drop suspension, do everything, but until you change the engine by which the car runs, you can change anything else. Nothing is going to happen. You can't change the outcome, the results of your life in the absence of changing your thoughts. Change how you think. Instead of seeing half full glass, half empty glass, start seeing half full glass. Or maybe don't even think if it's full or not. Drink the glass because you have a journey ahead of you. It's a mindset. It's a mindset, mama. It's a mindset, man. Because until you change your thinking pattern, nothing else is going to change. Umuzi wako ngeke ushintshe because you've renovated your house. Your marriage will not be better because you changed the furniture. From a normal wood, you went and bought an oak wood furniture. It won't change. But until the mindset changes, everything is going to change. No matter, no wonder why umuntu ezodla ipapa nekhaphetshu ayijabulele ngathi udla steak. It's because of the mindset to it. And have the very same person eating a steak, but the different mindset. Akabi na taste until you change your mindset. Nothing else is going to change. So I want to challenge you before the last point. Put yourself in order. Rebuke yourself. Bring yourself to order. Because the only difference between a bush and a garden is that whatever you find in the garden, you may find in the bush. But the reason why ushada or have any ceremony, you go to a garden to take pictures. You never go to the bush to take pictures. Hello? You go to the garden to take pictures. Why? Because in the garden, everything is in order. The roses are on point. The orchards are on point. The lilies are on point. The stream of water, the water cascading on the rocks, everything is on point because that's why we take pictures there. We never take pictures in the garden. So meaning if your mind is likened to a garden. You need to have your mind in order. Think in order. Process in order. You will have negative thoughts. Don't entertain them. You will have doubtful moments. Everyone has them. Don't entertain them. But gravitate to what feeds you, and that is a positive mindset. I have a question, but before I ask you this question, let's go to point number 6. Point number 6 says, you are not more than your thoughts. Tailor your thoughts and change your life. You are not more than your thoughts. Everything is tailor-made. Your thoughts actually determine everything around you. I look at me today, from my head to my toenails, everything is in sync. Finances, relationship, my spiritual life, my sentimental life, my emotional life, my psychological, everything about me is in sync with my thoughts. But the question is, what thoughts do I have? If they're negative, uzobona nge-outlook, noma nge-outcome of my life. But if my thoughts are positive, still, you will see with the outlook, with the outcome of my life. So change your thoughts and everything else would change. Now let me ask you, and I hope this question hits home. If you started changing your thoughts now, how would your life be by the end of this year? Think about it. If you changed how you saw your relationship, your marriage, your partnership in business or in love or in life, whatever partnership, if you changed from negative to positive, iyobanjani at the end of the last 6 months of this year. If you changed how you look at your finances and change how you treat your finances, how will they look by the end of this year? Or but if you changed how you looked at yourself, how you thought about yourself. I've written an article where one person got cured of a certain disease simply because they changed their minds. They didn't have no medication. They didn't have no therapy. They didn't have no physician. They didn't have no expert coming to assist them simply because they changed their mind through meditation or whatever it is, the process they use. They changed their mind, and because of that, it changed their system. It changed their situation. Changed from bad to better. From better to good. From good to excellent. From excellent to phenomenal. How could your life be, or how would your life be had you started thinking positive? So please, no matter uku level 0, don't call yourself a level 0. Because in my world, success is being at level 0, but not calling yourself a level 0, but rather calling yourself a level 0.1. That is progress. Because in my life, in my world, according to positive mental thinking, practice does not make perfect, but practice promotes progress. Wherever there is progress, it is because it has been pushed by an agenda, and that agenda is called a positive mindset. Oh boy, trust me. Trust me. If there's anything you can bet on what I'm saying now. Change your mind. Change your mind. Yes, of course, other pragmatic things will have to change, because if you change your mind, you're probably going to have to change your habits. When you change your habits, you're probably going to have to change your friends. When you change your friends, you're probably going to have to change your attitude. When you change your attitude, you're probably going to have to change your everything, your apparent life, anything about you has got, maybe even how you dress will have to change, because we are what we are attract. We don't attract what we wish. We don't attract what we pray for. We don't attract what we hope for. We attract what we are. So if you always find yourself in a corner that says, why mina sonke isikhathi ngishelwa ngabantu ababhedayo? Look at you. Why mina sonke isikhathi ngibuza? And in the same breath, why mina sonke isikhathi ngingenayo into ethize? But I always get people asking me advice of the very same thing I'm lacking. Have you ever got to be in a situation where you help people, advising them positively in the very same area you are struggling on? It's a mindset. It is a mindset. So sometimes in order for you to build your life, like the Bible says, if anyone wants to build a huge tower, the first thing they must do is to sit down and estimate the cost. Think through the cost. Be part of the process of the cost. Because when you understand what it takes, then you act accordingly. You become accordingly. You do appropriately, and then you become what you ought to be. So as you are trying to answer the question, if you looked at yourself and thought of yourself differently like you normally do, how would your life be? I want you to give yourself a challenge. Write that in a piece of paper. Stick it somewhere in your room and make it a task every night before you go to bed. Go to that space, read it out to yourself. Every morning when you wake up, go to that space, read it out to yourself. Let it create. Let it create a positive mindset, because a neuroscientist would say whatever you perpetually do for 21 days becomes your normal. So start thinking yourself in a positive way. Start believing in your capability. Start working on becoming a better version of yourself, and trust me, you are going to grow. So this is Dr. Sbu Khumalo saying, if no one ever told you they love you or believe in you enough, I want you to know I love you and I believe in you. But until you love you, until you believe in you enough, chances are it might take a while for it to happen. See you next week, same time, same place, same day, Wednesday. And next week, I want to talk about how to deal with disappointment. Because one thing about disappointment is a constant reminder, a constant visitor in everyone's home. So the question is, how do you deal with disappointment in times like this? Ladies and gentlemen, may God bless you. May God keep you well and be good to yourself. Peace.